Good morning to all and welcome to the second class of General Science. So, in the last class, we started with the chapter Living and Non-Living Things. And we learned some of the features of living things. So, which are the different things on earth? We can classify things on earth as living and non-living, right? So, what are living things? Things which need air, water and food and which can grow. What do we call? Living things. And what about non-living things? Things which do not need air, water or food and which do not grow. We call it as non-living things. So, today let's learn about some of the other features of living things. So, today we are going to discuss about movement. All living things move. Then, need a suitable place to live. So, all living things need a particular place to live. Then, all living things grow. So, this is what we are going to discuss today. So, moving to the first one, movement. So, all living things move. So, animals move. They move from one place to another. So, why do they move from one place to another? The first reason is in search of food and water. So, we know that living things need food and water to live. And they move longer distances in search of food and water. Then, to escape from enemies. So, we know that there are animals that eat other animals. What do we call them? Carnivorous animals. So, in order to escape from these carnivores, animals move longer distances. Then, return to their shelters. So, there are animals which cannot adapt to the harsh climatic conditions. So, they move to longer distances. And when the weather condition is favorable, they again come back to their habitats. They again come back to their place. So, animals move in search of shelters. So, animals move from one place to another for different reasons. In search of food and water, then to escape from enemies, then for shelters, in search of shelters. So, different animals move different ways. Let's discuss about insects. So, all insects have how many legs? They have 6 legs. Then, most insects have wings. So, they move with the help of their legs and they fly with the help of their wings. Then, what about birds? So, how do they move? They have 2 legs and most of the birds have wings and they fly with the help of their wings. So, what about water birds? So, what are water birds? Birds that live in and around water. Such birds, we call it as water birds. For example, ducks, swan, they live in water. And for that, these birds have webbed feet. What type of feet? They have webbed feet. So, that feet helps them to swim in water. Then, flightless birds. So, what are flightless birds? The birds that are incapable of flying. The birds that cannot fly. Such birds, we call it as flightless birds. For example, ostrich, kiwi. So, all these are flightless birds. Why? Can these birds fly? No. These birds cannot fly. They are incapable of flying. But they can run faster. They have strong legs. They can walk and run faster. They have strong legs to walk and run. Then, what about fish? Where do fish live? They live in water. And how do they move in water? Using their fins. So, fish have fins that helps them to swim in water. Then, what about snake? Do snake have limbs? What is this limbs? Hands and legs together, we call it as limbs. So, snakes move from one place to another by sliding. So, how they move? They move by sliding. And most snakes can swim. Then, mammals. So, have you heard of this term mammals? So, mammals are animals that have hair on their body. So, mammals are animals that have hair on their bodies. Such animals we call it as mammals. For example, elephant, tiger, all these are examples for mammals. And most of these mammals have limbs. Hands and legs together, we call it as limbs. And they move with the help of their limbs. So different animals move in different ways. Some have legs and wings, some have wings, some can run faster. So that is about the movement in animals. Then, what about movement in plants? We know that plants move because plants are living things. Do you think plants move from one place to another like we move? No. They only show gentle movements. Which plant is this? This is the sunflower plant. So why it is called sunflower? Because it is in the shape of a sun and it moved towards sunlight. So it shows movement. It shows movement towards sunlight. And do you know which plant is that? Next to sunflower. That is the touch me not plant. So when you touch that plant, you know what happened? It will shrink. So when you touch that plant, it will shrink. So that is called the touch me not plant. So plants always show a gentle movement. So plants, animals and human beings move. What is the next feature? Need a suitable place to live. So all living things need a suitable place to live. So where do we all live? We all live in a house. So like that, all living things need a particular place to live. So you can see the picture of a coconut tree. So where do this coconut tree grow? They grow in warm regions, which is near to the sea. So which is the next picture? It's a picture of an apple tree. And where can you find this apple tree? Where do the apple trees grow? They grow in cold region. Can the coconut tree survive in that cold region? No. Why? Because it is not its suitable place to live. So all living things have a suitable place to live. So that is about plants. So coming to the next one, animals. Even animals need a suitable place to live. So where do these cheetahs live? They live in grasslands. So grassland is an area which is covered with grasses. And what about wild ass? You can see the picture here. So they live in dry deserts. Imagine the cheetah lives in a desert. Can it survive? No, because it is not its suitable place. So that it cannot survive. So animals also need a suitable place to survive. Which animal is this? This is the polar bear. And where can you find polar bear? It lives in cold polar regions. So imagine the polar bear living in a desert. Can it survive there? No, it cannot survive. So a polar bear can survive only in cold regions. So all living things need a suitable place to live. Coming to the next feature, which is the next feature, growth. All living things grow. What about plants? Do plants grow? Yes. A seed grows into a plant and a plant grows throughout their lifetime. Then, what about animals then? Do animals grow? Yes, animals also grow. You can see the picture of a little kitten and now you can see the big cat. So, the little kitten has grown into a big cat. So, animals grow in size. They grow only in size during their early stage. Then what about human beings? Do we grow? Yes, even we grow. When we were born, we were all very small, right? We were all small babies. Then we have grown up. So, human beings also grow. From this, what can we conclude? We can conclude that all living things grow. All living things grow. All living things need a suitable place to live. Then what? All living things move. Then, let's compare it with non-living things. So, will a non-living thing move? No. Right, it won't move. Then, it won't move on its own. Then, what about growth? Do a non-living thing grow? No, it will not grow. So, that is about non-living things. So, in this class, we learnt about 3 new features of living things. So, which are they? Living things move, then living things need a suitable place to live, and all living things grow. So, I hope the class was clear to you. Just go through the topic that we have discussed. read and understand what we have discussed today. So we'll meet in the next class and we'll discuss other new features of living things. So we'll meet in the next class. Till then, thank you.